In this video, we will practice standardizing a normally distributed random variable. Let's start with example 1. Suppose that x is normally distributed. That's what this notation means. With a mean of 65 and a standard deviation of 10. So the way that we read that is x is normal 65, 10, where the first number is the mean and the second number is the standard deviation. And x is 40. Find and interpret the z-score of the standardized random normal variable. So recall that, Recall that to find a z-score, we calculate z is the x value minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. So we have that our x value is 40, our mean is 65, and our standard deviation is 10. So now we just need to plug all of these into our formula. 40 minus 65 divided by 10, or negative 25 divided by 10, which is negative 2.5. So when we standardize the random normal variable, we get a z-score of negative 2.5. Now we need to interpret, what does this mean? So what is a z-score? A z-score is simply how many standard deviations away this x value, 40, is away from the mean, 65. It is 2.5 standard deviations away from the mean, and the negative sign tells us that it's below the mean. So let's write that down. This tells us the value x equals 40 is 2.5 standard deviations below the mean. And the mean is 65, so the mean of 65, I'll just make that clear. Let's try another one. Suppose that x is normally distributed with a mean of 8.5 and a standard deviation of 0.75. Given the x value of 10, find and interpret the z-score, and find and interpret it. Okay, so we want to calculate it and we want to interpret it. I highly suggest that you try this one on your own, given that we just did one together, and play the video when you're ready to check your answers. So here's the calculation I came up with. I got a z-score of 2 by plugging into the z-score formula and getting 10 minus 8.5 divided by 0.75. So to interpret this, this tells us that the x value of 10 is 2 standard deviations above the mean because it's a positive z-score.